Arizona desert. Midday, 1874. The sun hangs like a molten coin in a cloudless sky. Heat ripples over the endless stretch of sand and stone. The desert whispers. Wind kicks dust into the air. Bleached bones half buried in the sand tell quiet tales of failure. A lone figure stumbles across the wasteland. Evelyn Carter, 22, disheveled, skirts torn, boots scuffed near ruin. Her pale skin is blistered and raw, cracked lips pressed tight in silent defiance. Sweat streaks the dirt on her face. Her eyes flick to the ground. Wagon tracks stretch behind her, weaving into the shimmering heat haze. They're hours old. Her husband's tracks, Boone Mercer and his men gone, left her behind like discarded luggage. The desert is vast, merciless, but Evelyn walks anyway, even as her knees threaten to buckle. The silence is thick, except for the rasp of her breath and the mournful cry of a hawk circling overhead. A ramshackle chapel, dust on the floorboards. Boone Mercer's greasy grin as he slips a ring on Evelyn's finger. Her smile falters. The preacher mumbles the vows. Boone smells of whiskey and horses. His men, rough, armed, watch like vultures. She came from Georgia, desperate, alone. A mail-order bride answering Boone's letters, lies dressed as promises. 2 days later, the truth arrived. Boone's words echo in her mind. Ain't no room for dead weight, sweetheart. Desert'll teach you faster than I can. Then the wagon rolled on without her. Evelyn trips, falls hard onto the burning sand. Her palms scrape against tiny spines of cactus. Blood beads. Vultures circle overhead, their shadows slipping across the cracked earth like silent grim reapers. She blinks toward the horizon. Mirage shimmers dance. Her throat burns like fire. Her tongue feels like sandpaper. In the distance, a faint, rhythmic thudding. Hoofbeats. She straightens, eyes straining, only to realize it's the wind again. The cruel desert plays tricks. A dry arroyo yawns ahead, a shallow, rocky dip in the landscape. She crawls to it, collapsing beside the brittle sagebrush. The sun blazes down. She fumbles for her locket, worn, tarnished. Her mother's face etched inside. Her voice echoes faint in her mind. Don't trust men with snake eyes, Evie. And never trust the desert. It'll chew you up faster than they will. Tears threaten, but the heat steals even that. The day fades. As the last rays die behind jagged mesas, the desert grows cold. Bone-deep cold that sneaks through her ripped clothing. Coyotes howl. Their cries roll across the empty vastness. Evelyn curls in on herself, trembling. The ache in her body merges with the ache in her chest. Alone, utterly, completely alone. A faint golden light breaks the horizon. The desert shivers under morning frost. Evelyn's eyes flicker open, crusted and bleary. Her lips are cracked raw, her limbs weak. But something's changed. There, on the ridge above, a silhouette. A horse stands still, its rider unmoving, watching. The figure is distant, obscured by dust and light. Broad-shouldered, a blanket or poncho draped over their shoulders. Face hidden beneath the brim of a wide hat. A rifle slung across their back. Evelyn squints, heart lurching. Fear, hope, hallucination? She tries to speak. Nothing but a rasp escapes. The rider remains motionless, watching, judging. Then, in the blink of an eye, they vanish, slipping behind the rocky ridge like smoke. Evelyn gasps, weakly pushing herself onto her elbows. Wait. But the ridge is empty again. Only the desert remains, still and indifferent. Was it real? Or was death finally coming, dressed as a rider? The sun climbs once more, blinding, unforgiving. Evelyn's strength fails her completely. Her arms buckle. She collapses face first onto the sand. Her vision blurs. The edges of the world darken. Footsteps crunch nearby. Measured. Steady. A shadow falls across her. For a fleeting moment, warmth. Not from the sun, but from something human. Then, everything goes black. The world comes back in fragments. Warmth. The low crackle of fire. The faint scent of smoke and sagebrush. A trickle of water nearby. Evelyn's eyelids flutter. Her lips are parched, skin fevered. The ache in her limbs returns, sharper now. Her wrists, bound loosely with soft rawhide. Not cruelly, but enough to remind her she isn't free. She blinks, the world sharpening into focus. The canyon walls rise around her, reddish stone etched with time. Their shelter is a shallow alcove tucked beneath an overhang, hidden from the relentless sun. Across the fire sits her rescuer, Chayton, mid-30s, Apache, his skin weathered, sharp features marked by quiet strength, long black hair tied at the nape, scar along his jawline. He sharpens a knife with practiced rhythm. The blade flashes in the sunlight. His dark eyes meet hers, calm, measuring, unreadable. The fire crackles between them, a barrier, a question. Her heartbeat quickens. Where the hell was she? Who was he? The canyon swallows her uncertainty in silence. Evelyn's breath comes fast as realization dawns. She tugs at her bound wrists, panic prickling under her skin. Captured. Every ugly story, every whispered warning back in town rushes through her mind. Boone's sneering voice echoes. Apache'll slit your throat before they steal your boots, girl. Savages don't leave survivors. Her pulse races. She scans the area. No weapons near her. No wagon. No Boone. Only wilderness and him. Chayton rises slowly, moves with quiet authority. He approaches, crouches nearby, holds out a metal canteen. Water sloshes inside. Evelyn shrinks back. Her cracked lips ache with thirst, but fear roots her in place. Chayton waits, his expression unreadable, eyes steady, not cruel, but not soft either. She hesitates, notices her satchel nearby, her locket, a small pouch of food. Her heart pounds. If he wanted her dead, it'd be done by now. But the tension lingers, thick as the desert heat. Language drips between them like a broken stream. Evelyn's voice cracks. Who are you? Chayton tilts his head faintly. No answer. Only the whisper of the canyon wind. Frustration bubbles beneath her fear. The canyon's silence presses in, heavy, watchful. Her gaze flicks to the canteen again. To his face. To his knife. The offer still hangs between them. Water or stubbornness. Slowly, trembling, she accepts. The sun dips low, staining the canyon walls in copper and crimson. Shadows stretch like long fingers across the sand. Evelyn huddles near the fire, arms wrapped around her knees. Her wrists are free now, but the invisible rope of fear still binds her. Chayton sits nearby, tending the fire, methodically preparing dried meat and something pungent from his pack. She watches him, studying, every movement quiet, efficient, detached. Her stomach growls, but the knot of grief and distrust holds tighter. Memories gnaw at her. Boone's laughter as he threw her down from the wagon. The empty promises. The way his men stared at her like vultures. Her mother's warnings. The desert swallowing everything. She clenches the locket in her fist. Tears threatening. Chayton speaks softly, a few words in his own tongue. The cadence unfamiliar, earthy. She doesn't understand, but his voice lacks threat. Still, she refuses the food he offers, shakes her head. Chayton's eyes narrow faintly. He rises, gestures to the canyon's mouth. Beyond it, only miles of sand, rock, and certain death. His meaning is clear enough. Out there, you die. Here, maybe you live. Evelyn stares, trembling. The truth digs under her skin. She can barely stand, let alone walk. The weight of it breaks her. The sob escapes before she can stop it, a quiet, raw sound. Her shoulders shake as grief floods her chest. She clutches the locket tighter. Chayton watches, doesn't move, doesn't pry. Instead, he lowers himself to a nearby rock, resumes sharpening his blade. The rhythmic scrape fills the canyon like a lullaby of survival. No words, no judgment, just quiet understanding wrapped in firelight. The stars emerge one by one, cold and brilliant. The moon glows low on the horizon. Coyotes yip in the distance, their eerie calls rolling down the canyon walls. Evelyn curls close to the fire, pulling her ragged shawl tighter around her. The desert's chill seeps into her bones. Chayton stands at the canyon's edge, silhouetted against the night sky, his rifle slung casually in one hand, his gaze scanning the shadows. A silent sentinel, she studies him beneath half-lidded eyes. Every part of her wants to stay wary, but exhaustion dulls the fear. His silhouette cuts a quiet strength against the stars. Alone but capable, the fire sputters. The coyotes draw closer. Evelyn shivers. Her teeth chatter faintly. Chayton returns wordlessly, kneels beside her. She flinches instinctively, but he only unfurls a worn wool blanket, places it over her shoulders with careful efficiency. No words, no lingering hands, just a quiet gesture. Protection. He settles back by the fire, rifle across his lap, eyes sharp beneath his brow. Evelyn's gaze lingers on him. The warmth of the blanket, the unfamiliar but undeniable sense that, for now, she's safer here than out there. Doubt still coils in her chest, but somewhere beneath it, faint, flickering hope begins to stir. The endless desert rolls out beneath a soft pink sky. The chill of dawn fades as sunlight creeps across the sand. Two figures move steadily across the plains. Evelyn and Chayton, side by side now. Their footsteps fall in rhythm. Their silence is no longer tense, but companionable. Evelyn adjusts the strap of a crude water pouch slung over her shoulder. Her clothes are still worn, but cleaner. Her hair braided roughly down her back. She's learning. Chayton halts beside a clump of desert sage. His hand lifts in a quiet gesture, fingers flat, palm forward. Stop. Evelyn mirrors him, eyes scanning. A snake, coiled among the rocks, its rattle hissing softly. She tenses. Chayton crouches, plucks a small green plant from nearby, crushes its leaves. A faint aroma fills the air, bitter, sharp. He speaks low, points to the plant, then the snakebite scar on her ankle from 2 nights prior. Evelyn nods, understanding dawning, gratitude flickering beneath guarded eyes. A faint smile tugs at the corner of Chayton's mouth, the first real one she's seen. She imitates his snakebite treatment, awkward but determined. His quiet chuckle is almost warm. They walk on, but the land whispers of trouble. Chayton kneels, inspecting the sandy trail ahead. Hoof prints, deep, fresh, not Apache, not friendly. His expression darkens, eyes sharp as a hawk's. Evelyn's pulse quickens. They're not alone anymore. Jagged stone formations rise like broken teeth from the sand. The sun beats down, casting stark shadows. Evelyn and Chayton move cautiously, their footfalls careful. Then voices. Rough. Male. Boone Mercer. Evelyn freezes behind a boulder as Boone and his men emerge, following the same trail. Dust-streaked, armed, eyes scanning the horizon like wolves on the hunt. Chayton's jaw tightens. He signals for silence, but the men spot them. Gunfire cracks the stillness. Bullets chip at the rocks. Evelyn ducks, heart pounding. Chayton fires back, his rifle barking once, twice. His movements smooth, controlled. A bandit tumbles from his horse. The others fan out, flanking. Chayton reloads, eyes sharp. His knife gleams at his side. Evelyn huddles behind the rocks, fear clawing at her throat. The desert explodes with noise, gunfire, shouting. hooves pounding. Boone's voice cuts through the chaos. "Evie, that you, sweetheart? Come on out now, let's talk proper." His leering tone sends a cold shiver down her spine. She peeks. Boone stalks toward her, revolver in hand, grin oily as ever. Chayton fights nearby, fierce but outnumbered. A knife slashes his side. He stumbles. Evelyn's breath catches. A choice hangs heavy in the air. Cower or act.ext. Outcroppings moments later. Time slows. Chayton's knife lies near Evelyn's feet, dropped in the scuffle. Boone looms closer, his eyes hungry, cruel. "You should have stayed in Georgia, girl." Evelyn's hand darts down, grips the knife. Boone's grin fades, confusion flickering. Too late. She drives the blade into his side. Shock flashes across his face. Blood blooms, scarlet against the dust. Evelyn's hands tremble, but her grip holds. Her eyes, wild, determined. Boone stumbles back, gasping. The remaining bandits, seeing their leader fall, retreat into the desert, curses fading with them. Chayton collapses to his knees, blood staining his shirt. Evelyn rushes to him, pressing her hands to the wound, panic threatening, but resolve anchoring her now. No longer the abandoned girl in the sand. Fierce, changed. EXT desert sunset. The sun sinks low, casting the world in gold and crimson. A group of riders approaches across the plains. Proud, silent. Chayton's tribe. Apache men and women on horseback. Faces unreadable, eyes sharp with quiet assessment. Chayton speaks softly to them in his native tongue. They dismount, tending to him with practiced care. Evelyn lingers at the edge, uncertain. Foreign, out of place. Chayton rises weakly, his gaze meeting hers. He speaks to the others. More words she doesn't understand. A woman offers Evelyn water. Another gestures to the horses. A choice hangs in the air. Stay, follow them, step into the unknown. Or be left at the nearest outpost. Return to empty towns. To men like Boone. To what little of her old life remains. Evelyn looks to the desert. Her footprints. Boone's blood, the ashes of what was. She squares her shoulders. Steps forward. Into the uncertain path. Her old life burns behind her. Scattered to the sand. Fade out. Final voiceover. In the desert, survival strips you bare. It shows who you are or who you can become. Would you have survived? Would you have trusted? Let us know below. Like, subscribe, and remember, the West never gives second chances.